Not sure if you knew this, but Canadians, especially woke ones, take great pride in Canadians not being thought of in the same terms as those Americans. You know, those folks that live down south of the border. The words they usually associate when describing Canadians are words like nice, kind, thoughtful, peaceful, and mild-mannered. Unlike those mean, abrasive, stupid, Bible-believing, gun-toting Americans to the south of them. Being a Canadian myself, I can tell you that Canadians are simply passive-aggressive. They're not all nicey nice. Don't believe me? Just look at the past 3 years when many of these nice folks were willing to coerce and mandate their fellow citizens into submission when they voluntarily wouldn't comply to giving up their personal bodily autonomy. They had no problem having those they disagreed with thrown into prison and, or better yet, freezing them out of their own bank accounts for supporting something they didn't agree with. But want to murder those they disagree with politically? Well, that simply is a bridge too far for nice Canadians, eh? Well, looks like it isn't. In a story I'm sure you likely didn't hear much about from the CBC or other state-supported and corporate mainstream media in general, there was a sentencing in a case where the threat led to an attempt on the life of none other than the Donald himself. That's right, Donald Trump. Canada's very own pride and joy, Pascale Cecile Veronique Ferrier, 56, has been sentenced to 262 months, or roughly 22 years, for mailing ricin to Trump. Ricin, for those of you who don't know what it is a highly deadly toxin, which has one purpose simply, and that's to kill. However, what's really startling about her case is the defense raised by her lawyers, and we'll get to that in a minute. Now, to be fair, Ferrier is a dual citizen of Canada and France. You know, France, those folks that had that deadly, bloody revolution, and where said revolutionaries guillotined most of those they disagreed with. So she comes by her idea of tolerance honestly. She pleaded guilty to sending a letter containing ricin in 2020 to then President Trump and others. In the letter, Ferrier referred to Trump as the ugly tyrant clown and added that if it doesn't work, I'll find a better recipe for another poison, or I might use my gun when I'll be able to come enjoy free rebel spirit. For a minute there, I could have sworn she was describing our very own Justin Trudeau when she said, the ugly tyrant clown. The threat of the gun wasn't an empty threat. When Ferrier was arrested after she tried to drive across the US-Canada border at the Peace Bridge border crossing in Buffalo, New York, she had in her possession a gun, a knife, and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. Again, apparently, obviously, you didn't hear much about this in the media. Ferrier made the ricin in her home in Quebec. Industrious she is. When she was arrested later for refusing to leave a park after it closed, police found 8 similar letters sent to law enforcement officials in charge of the Texas jail where she was held. In one letter, she instructed Trump to give up and remove his application for this election. She was also active on social media, with one posting on Twitter X asking for someone to please shoot Trump in the face. Seems like this kind of post should be of concern and something the FBI should be chasing down, right? In court, Ferrier insisted that she considered herself a peaceful and genuinely kind person. How very Canadian of her. But admitted she gets angry about problems. Like unfairness, abuses of power, and stupid rules. Kind of sounds like she's describing Canada once again. She insisted that she is an activist rather than a terrorist who wants to find peaceful means to achieve my goals. That's, of course, after I use the ricin and arsenal on my opponents. After that, I promise it's all peace, brother. In court, Ferrier's defense attorney, Eugene Ohm, offered a curious defense. that his client is inordinately intelligent and earned a master's degree in engineering while raising 2 children as a single parent. Seems to me that maybe more like inordinately insane might have been a better choice for a defense. Or we could always go with the classic that's been used since 2015. TDS, baby. You know, Trump derangement syndrome. Obviously, U.S. District Judge Dabney Friedrich doesn't suffer from TDS, as he handed down the 262-month sentence to Canada's very own poster child for a nice Canadian. Anyway, I thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Please post any comments you have in the comment section. You can also follow me in my Rumble and my Locals account. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channels, please do so. You can also follow me on Twitter at Camera612. I will see you next time.